Okay. Well, guys, today we're going to be talking about Nick Bruce Adventure series because after the first season was released all the way back in June 30th and ended on August 4th, we're going to be having a lot of theories about the first and the second season and what that means for the future of the series. So here we go. I know I'm talking low, but this is just a theorizer per Nick. This is the Detective Nick person, or as you should call it, Mix Worlds, detective skills, if you know what I mean. So, but anyways, yeah, I mean, after, everything that happened in the first season, a lot of fans started to speculate on some of the things Nick was saying. If you go back to the first episode, which this will be my first theory, he mentions about his ex named girlfriend named Nina, saying that he never got to see her and they broke up and no one knows what happened. And a lot of fans are theorizing what might have actually gone down for that situation. Now, yeah, I mean, there's been some rumors saying that Nina's going to show up by the third Nick Bruce Adventure season, but we don't know yet. But although this says in the plot leaks explain that there's AOC saying like all Nick's friends are teaming up and much, much more, they don't say who else is going to be in there. So my theory is there's going to be a good possible chance that Nina and Nick's relationship are going to return back. They're going to explain their past. And yeah, so let's have a theory of what might have actually happened. So before even any of this happened, let's go back to the Nick and Jamone trailer. This was basically explaining where Nick came from, and basically there's a good possible chance that Jamone's going to get Nick the house, right? So maybe after the events, it might have been a year before this even happened. So technically speaking, this might have happened towards the middle of the timeline. So before that, Nick was probably, got a girlfriend, or he might have actually went to school, but then he might have got kicked out. Now, I don't know if that's actually, going to be explained if Nick ever went to high school, which I have no clue. But that's a good theory right there. Another theory I have for this is that maybe it's because some things just didn't work out. Maybe it's because Nick and Nina's relationship just did not work out. Or maybe she cheated on Nick with some other dude. But honestly, I have no clue. Yes, so basically, honestly, if this could be explained sooner enough, then honestly, I would think maybe Nick is gonna go back with Nina at some point in time. She was literally hinted at the first beginning of the season, like the beginning of the first episode. Nick was explaining about his girlfriend named Nina, and then never got explained after that the rest of the season. So whatever's gonna happen, all I'm gonna say is if Nina does show up in the third or fourth season, possibly, then she might actually have to help out with Nick, just like kind of like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, kind of like that. But anyways, let's get on to theory number 2. So yeah, Nick Bruce Adventures does also have another theory. Where's Nick's mom? Well, in the thing Mick was talking about, Mick literally was talking to Nick for 5 minutes towards the 4th episode. And what happened is that, he explained that Nick's dad was evil, but then something weird happens. This was kind of like a weird start to start off with, Nick being his dad being evil coming after, but they never mentioned Nick's mom. So my theory is that maybe the second season might reveal it, but I doubt that since pretty much the second season is not looking like it's going to be going that direction. So maybe by Nick Bruce Adventures 3, Nick's mom could actually be dead. Now, I'm not saying she might be dead or not, or maybe, she might still be out there somewhere in the Nick Bruce universe, or the Nick Bruce Cinematic Universe, but all I'm saying is that if Nick's mom does show up eventually or just comes out dead and doesn't come out alive, like best to say, someone might have actually been the one behind it, which goes on to theory number 3. So, how did Nick's mom die? Well, unfortunately, this may never be explained. It might be explained because they can't just do that to Nick Bruce Adventures. They can't just do that to the trilogy, okay? It's turning into a trilogy. They can't just do that to us. Like, what they need to do is, for one, they need to tell some backstories about some people. Like, maybe when Nick was a kid, maybe they'll explain about Nick's mom there. Or how they even just, try to, like, how Mick and Nick split up, or because before Nick's mom, maybe because Mick might be a little younger or something, which is another theory I have in mind, but I'm not going to do that in today's video. So whatever happened to Nick's mom, someone was behind it, and honestly, no one probably wasn't even about it. She might have actually had cancer, might have died anyways, and there might be that emotional scene. Sorry about that upstairs. People are just, doing things. My brother's probably upstairs, like Nick. But yeah, so basically, honestly, I think there's a good possible chance that Nick's mom, there could be emotional part in, Nick Bruce Adventures 3 where Mick and Nick were, Nick tells him about Nick's mom, and Mick starts saying that's not true, and I believe that might happen by the 3rd season. So yeah, but anyways, moving on to the next theory. So one of the theories I have for Nick Bruce Adventures 2, this is a new one. Where did evil Nick come from? How did he come from? Or how do you even get to Nick's universe? Well, actually, if you go back always to the Glitch episode, it's hinting that a multiverse was hinted. So wherever an evil Nick went to, a lot of fans are speculating that the reason why he was going after Nick for some reason, like evil Nick, is because, evil Nick might have actually had evil Nick and Nick might not actually have a good backstory together, but honestly, I doubt that because Nick probably doesn't know who he is. So maybe this might take place at the future events, which another theory comes to mind saying that Rick might actually be evil Nick. But I doubt that since evil Nick literally has a different voice than Rick, because Rick is more like the tough guy, you know what I'm saying? And evil Nick's kind of like, kind of like the Reverse Flash, so it doesn't make any sense since they came from different universes. But that's a really good theory. I mean, wherever Evil Nick came from, it was definitely from multiverse. That's what we know so far. Because Evil Nick might have came from a different universe, might explain Nick Avengers 2, most likely. But his backstory is never explained. Probably never will be, or probably will be by the 3rd season. But honestly, that's just my theory on Nick Bruce Adventures 3. Like, if Evil Nick comes back, which I have a theory that he's gonna possibly be defeated in Nick Bruce Adventures 2, but he's gonna come back, somehow or some way in the 3rd season, because honestly, Nick is gonna defeat him. But how is he gonna defeat him? Which brings to the next Nick Bruce Adventures 2 theory. One of the biggest theories so far going around, and one of the most rumored and, one of the most reported, is that leaks say that Super Nick is going to be the one showing up in Nick Bruce Adventures 2 by the end of the 5th episode for Nick Bruce Adventures Season 2. So I believe that he's going to defeat him and Nick's going to save the day, which now we're going on to one of the last theories. This is one of the last theories I go on to speculating about, but, it was explained that Aiden, came from a different planet, but where or what planet was it? Well, a lot of fans believe it could be explained. It could actually be explained in the 1st episode. Either the 1st or 2nd episode, doesn't matter. So what's going to happen is Nick and, Aiden's backstory, all of that, Aiden his backstory could be revealed in Super A and Z, which is a very good theory. But honestly, I don't know. I mean, there's been so many, speculations about where Aiden came from. Because in the trailer, we saw him going through a portal. So wherever he came from, he might have actually lost somebody or someone just like Nick did. Now, for the last final theory. And this is the biggest theory of them all, which is going to build up to a Nick League film. And it's going to basically start off, ruining the multiverse or timeline. But what is Rick's backstory, for one? And for two, where did he come from? And for three, why does he hate Nick? Well, if you go back in the glitch episode, you can see that he did teleport from the video game system, but I don't think he came from the video game system, to be honest with you. I think where he really came from was that, for one, he might have actually came from a different universe, and then he teleported to a different one, since there's been theories saying that first episode, the glitch, and the only one, might have actually been, hinted that Rick was, traveling for different universes, which explains his backstory. Why does he want to go after Nick? Well, a lot of fans are saying that Rick, might have actually witnessed other Nicks. And the reason why we saw evil Nick so much in the second trailer, not the second trailer, that's not even coming until November 18th. Don't even listen. What I'm trying to say, though, guys, is that evil Nick and Rick and all of this, including all of this crazy stuff, there's actually been a theory going around that Rick might have actually witnessed other Nicks, and that's why he doesn't like this Nick, because he doesn't understand he might actually be good or bad. But there's been so many theories that Rick, does not like Nick because of the whatever, kind of like Kane, right? From Loki season 1. Let's just go back to that. Loki was defeating other Kanes, and then he says, wait until you meet my variants. So it's going to turn out to be a Rick dynasty by the third Nick Bruce season. And then comes to the last thing about Rick is, what universe he come from. Well, actually, he might have actually been the one behind everything, but that's not the point. The point is, where did he come from? And a lot of fans are believing that he might have came from a different universe, the opposite Nick, where everyone's bad. Because you realize, you got to realize, evil Nick is bad, Rick is bad, and if Rick knows where evil Nick is, he's going to kill him off because he doesn't want to see our Nick, and he wants to be the only Nick. So whatever happens by Super A and Z, if Rick does show up, which has actually been rumored he's going to be in Super A and Z, but basically what's going to happen is Rick is basically going to go insane, and he's just going to, make evil happen because he's going to basically warn Aiden not to kill him. And when he does, that's when Rick's dynasty starts. Kind of like Kane's dynasty from Marvel Studios, Avengers, So, honestly, I think Rick's going to be the star of the big bad of the Multiverse Saga, which so far has not been explained that the Multiverse Saga is actually been confirmed. We know this is the Multiverse Saga. It's just that Nick, for example, doesn't want to do it. He's like, I'm not going to explain this because I don't want to reveal it till next year. And then the fans are like, just tell us now. And he's like, not right now. I can't explain nothing. I'm not saying nothing. But all I'm saying is that, and blah, blah, blah. So whatever's going to happen, Rick's going to start off the big bad, and then the real big bad will start after Rick. So, yeah. But if you enjoyed today's video on theories on, Mixed Worlds, Mixed Worlds theories about Nick Bruce Adventures 1 and 2, and because I didn't put the third season on, I guess you could say, at least I did a good job, right? Because there's no point in playing more information, because that would just be gibberish, and honestly, I don't have enough room to put the text or the title in, so you can, blame me all that, but yeah, so anyways, I'll catch you guys back, and like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And peace out. And I shall end this one right now.